Jimenez,
Present.
Cohen,
Here.
Esparza,
Here.
Arenas.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Wonderful. Well, I'm calling our Neighborhood Services and Education Committee to begin, and we are going to start with the first item. There's nothing under our consent calendar or reports to our committee. So we will begin with item D1, which is the Coyote Creek Trail Project Quarterly Status Report. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. I'm Neil Rufino. I'm the Assistant Director for the Park Recreation Neighborhood Services Department. I'm just going to turn this over to Avi to do full welcome and inductions of the team that's behind this presentation today. So go ahead, Avi.
Thank you, Neil, and thank you, Chair and members of the committee. Again, I'm Avi Otam, Deputy Director of Parks, here to provide with a great team an update on the Coyote Creek Trail project from design into early implementation. We are here today because in September 2020, when the construction of Coyote Creek Trail segments came in front of the City Council, we received City Council direction to provide ongoing updates and also coordinate with the San Jose Police Department on a trail safety plan. So today we're bringing forth just that. And I'm pleased to be joined by Liz Sewell, our Department Trail Manager, Captain Brian Schaub from the San Jose Police Department, Senior Park Ranger Lucia Wade, and Interim Parks Manager Dan Greeley. With that said, I'll turn it over to Liz to take it away.
Thank you, Avi. You can move to the next. Great. Good afternoon, committee members. So we are here today to present on the Coyote Creek Trail and the safety pilot. This trail, when it's completed, will be one of the longest trail systems in the South Bay region. And the new segment that was just built between William and Phelan brings us one step closer to completing our 100-mile trail network. During the trail development process, the city did hold several community meetings, including 2 in 2020. This trail is in part funded by the Affordable Housing and Sustainable Communities program through the Department of Housing and Community Development, and the trail links parks, jobs, shopping, the new affordable housing along Center Road, and other amenities. The trail also better connects to the entire trail network, including the Guadalupe River Trail. Next slide. So the one remaining link that we need in order to complete the connection between downtown San Jose and Morgan Hill is between Phelan and Tully. That segment is in final stages of design, and we hope to have it operational by April of 2025. But on this slide, you can see the before and after from the trail near Remillard, and it also details the background of the segment that was just built. So before I hand it over to Captain Schaub, I want to mention that based on our trail count survey, the Coyote Creek Trail did have the largest increase of trail users when compared year over year. However, since the trail is not contiguous, it is less effective for nature experiences, recreation, active transportation and commuting, and other uses. So community groups and survey respondents have been commenting that issues such as encampments, private cars, glass on the trail, etc., do have negative impacts on their trail use. So because of this, a really exciting partnership with the Sjpd and San Jose Conservation Corps have emerged. So next, I will hand it off to Captain Schaub to discuss our partnership with Sjpd.
Thank you very much, Liz. Thank you for having me, committee members. I'm going to talk a little bit about the San Jose Police Department's role in this Coyote Creek Trail project. And before I start, I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Councilmember Esparza for her leadership and really championing this part of the project for the PD. And I'm very, very thankful to have been able to be a part of that. So with that, the scope and the purpose of how the police department's role came about in this was to make sure that we could partner with Parks and Rec and Conservation Corps and be there to create an environment where the public feels safe
But we want to
to be
educate,
able
you
to
know,
use
our constituents
this trail.
about
Right,
this.
the
Hey,
city-
can everybody mute, please? We're getting some background sound. I don't know if that's you.
Thank you, Councilmember. I think it was just handled. So the idea is to make sure that we can create an environment where people feel safe using this trail, right? Because that's why we're doing it. The city is putting enormous amount of resources and money into building out this trail. And we want people to use it, and they're only going to use it if they feel safe. And so that was the purpose and the scope behind getting us involved. The current deployment model for the police department is 1 officer and 1 sergeant, 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. And they're primarily patrolling on bicycles, short of inclement weather. Then obviously they'll be in vehicles. Currently, right now, it is only that 2 mile or so stretch from the Older Park to Tully where they're patrolling. And so they're able to have a pretty significant presence in that span for that period of time. We are actually getting a really, really good staffing. This is it's staffed entirely on an overtime basis. So what we're doing is we're putting it out to all the officers that are bike certified to sign up. And I'm happy to report that we are probably at about 95% staffing rating right now, where we're getting pretty much every day. We're getting officers and sergeants out on the trail. So talking about our priorities, right? So what are our priorities to be out there in the park? Well, we just talked about creating an environment where people feel safe using the trail. So how do we accomplish that? Well, it's a fine balance between enforcement and community engagement, right? We obviously, we're law enforcement. We're out there to enforce, criminal violations, and we will when we see them. But probably more important than that is we want to be a visible presence. We want to be out there engaging with community, let them see us out there patrolling the trail, be a resource for them, stop, have conversations, talk to them, let them know what the program's all about. And so my direction to the officers out there is this, just that, get engaged. We're not turning a blind eye to crime out there, but if we're spending 3 hours down at jail on a misdemeanor arrest, then we're not necessarily accomplishing our mission. And that constant presence in and of itself is a huge deterrence to crime. And I think you'll see that in the stats as we go over them here in a second. And all of this couldn't be done without lots of coordination from lots of different agencies and departments within the city. Most notably, the Santa Clara Valley Water District has been, a 50-50 partner in this when it comes to not only just monetary, but just being out there with us, engaging with us, showing us what they need, and us trying to help them with what they need. The coordination with Parks and Rec has been, fantastic. It's been amazing, as well as the coordination with the Conservation Corps and working with those folks who are out there volunteering on a daily basis. And then really all of the nonprofits that are a part of this. So we're really trying to build this out as a community project, with PD being part of that community. And if I can go to the next slide for our stats. There we go. And so this is just a quick snapshot of the last 3 months. These are just some of the metrics that we're monitoring right now. And you'll see with the numbers of arrests, while we had 6 in February, only 1 and 2 in January and 2 in March. That kind of goes along with what I was just referring to is trying to be out there as a visible presence more than anything else. So we're not focusing on some of the lower level arrests that will take us out of service. Warrant arrests are there listed, a little bit more of those. The vehicle impounds is one that I draw your attention to. We didn't start tracking that until February. That's why there's 0 there in January. And this is significant because this is kind of speaks to the partnership with Valley Water, where, they were really concerned about the environmental impact of vehicles, in the creek shed and on the trailway. So they asked us to start really monitoring how many vehicles were able to impound. And that's when we started doing that, 17 in February and 17 in March. That's a pretty significant number if you think about the footprint that we're actually, patrolling. Just that 2 mile stretch to get 17 impounds in that 2 mile stretch in a month's time is pretty significant. The unhoused assistance contacts, what that is while we're out there, I mean, there's a significant unhoused community along the creek. And as we interact with them, we're absolutely taking the opportunity to try and give assistance and referrals where we can. So in those situations where we're able to give someone referrals to PATH or housing or you name it, we're tracking that as well, because that's another one of our priorities out there on the creek. And then the last one is trail user contacts. And, I wanted to be able to look back and say how many, we're so used in the police department to track our enforcement contacts, and that's fairly simple for us. But I wanted to be able to track all of the positive impacts and contacts that we're having with your everyday citizen who's just using the trail. And it was also a way for me to make sure that the officers are out there engaging with the community. And so when you look at those numbers down there, 194, 187, and 171, that's a lot of really positive police with community contacts that are happening because of this program. And again, when you look at the footprint that we're at right now, just a short little 2 mile stretch, that's a lot of contact. And that's really what I'm probably most proud of when I look at how this project has evolved in the last few months, is making that kind of impact. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Senior Ranger Lucia Wade.
Thank you very much, Captain Schaub. The San Jose Conservation Corps' trail safety team operates under the oversight of city park rangers, and it serves as the eyes on the trail Tuesday through Friday. May I have the next slide? The trail safety team's responsibilities include reporting emergencies and non-emergency issues, performing light landscaping and maintenance, and also providing information to the trail users. At this time, I'd like to hand it off to Interim Park Manager, Dan Greeley.
Dan, you're muted.
Good day, Chair and committee members. I want to share a little bit of update on how San Jose Conservation Corps collects data. They currently use an app on their phone to track all service requests and then geolocate all services so that we can easily find if there are hotspots. We use this data in our bi-weekly meetings as we are looking to always monitor the service levels and make changes to service scheduling based on service needs. PRNS is a data-driven agency, and we use this data to assist us moving forward. We are also looking to better integrate this data collection with San Jose Police Department. As you can see, the main issues that we're seeing Conservation Corps respond to are cleanliness and encampment issues. Can I have the next slide, please? Next steps for the trail safety pilot will focus on us monitoring the program's results. We are currently looking and trying to identify user group and service need trends, looking at seasonal use increases and the length of day. As the day gets longer, we expect trail use to go up. We also plan to continue to meet and communicate with our partners to collaborate and identify opportunities to further partner. Foster potential partnerships involve activation events with Keep Coyote Creek Beautiful, Audubon Society, OSA, and our many other partners on the trail. We plan to continue to monitor the vegetation to reduce weeds, fire load, keep line of sight issues at a minimum so that there's an increased sense of security. PRNS is currently strategizing additional grant opportunities to continue this important work to support the increased use of this growing trail reach. This concludes our verbal report. We recommend the committee accept the verbal quarterly report, and we're available for questions and feedback.
Thank you. I'm gonna look to see if there are any public comments. And if our city clerk can take that on.
Laura Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman here. Thanks for the meeting today. Thanks a lot for this item. You know, I've spoken for a few years now. I've spoken of the wonders of the city of Davis and their wildlife trails and their surveillance and technology ordinance ideas for the future of wildlife trails. I know a lot of people within city government staff have made a pilgrimage to the city of Davis to check it out and see what it is about. I wish I better understood it myself, you know, after all these years. I don't understand it better than I could. What I was hearing today was, you know, the use of police on these trails and the future of the final trails that you need to build down into Gilroy and such, which is understandable, but is the future of wildlife trails and its monitoring, you know, shouldn't that be under the purview of, say, the Department of Transportation, the DOT, and they can then pass along information as needed to police agencies and such? I think to develop the future of wildlife trails and the surveillance technology that will be needed, it just offers kind of a better check and balance system, I think, than going directly straight to law enforcement to take care of these things. I know law enforcement is called in for some of these things, but it might be better to work under the auspices of data collection that I think Department of Transportation can do a better job about, and I would just feel more comfortable about. Again, good luck in looking to the city of Davis for these sort of questions and ideas, and thanks for this item.
Maxim Kupfel, and that's the last person.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah, this is great. I just wanted to say that as a data person, I like seeing all those activities. I think what would be helpful is if this stuff could have been more readily available to the average citizen. I think I wouldn't have known where to go for it if it does exist. And this is the first time I have seen these numbers. And not just that, but if maybe you can provide some sort of relative numbers so you can see where we compare with other cities, for instance, if it's possible, and maybe like side by side with other similar projects. And so that'd be a little bit helpful just to give a little bit of comparison. But it's really great to see that we're cleaning up these parks because, you know, as a new citizen in San Jose, I was definitely disrupted by all the blight I saw and the inability to enjoy the beautiful parks we have because, you know, they just become encampments. That's it. Thank you.
As the last public speaker, back to the chair.
Thank you. All right, so before we begin comments with my colleagues, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. So before we begin comments with my colleagues, I just want to remind everyone that there are 5 items on our agenda. And so I'm going to ask my colleagues to please keep within a 10-minute limit on our comments. And then our just the staff that's presenting, if you could please keep in mind that we have five presentations in total. And so please be as concise as possible. So thank you. Councilmember Esparza.
Thank you. First I want to I want to recognize Valley Water for their partnership on this. This patrol and safety plan, it's the first in the city. And so we're piloting some of these activities, and I really want to recognize that Valley Water has gone in with us with the city to really make this happen. So I would like to thank them for that. And then I thank the Sjpd, I thank Chiefs Mata and actually Chief Garcia as well for being committed to this pilot, and thank the Conservation Corps as well. Every time I drive out there, I see the bicycles going along, and it's really great. And a lot of the Conservation Corps folks that are out cycling are also involved in a lot of other activities, such as with Keep Coyote Creek Beautiful, the Trash Punks, and other organizations that are on our trails and our creek. I just wanted to mention that along with the efforts of this patrol and this sorry, I have something else on the brain as well, the trail safety pilot, that this work enables us to really, really activate our trails through partnerships with the Open Space Authority and many, many other environmental groups that should be on this trail. And I wanted to add just a comment that I've heard from many folks out in the community that they see the Conservation Corps or they see the PD out there, and it makes them want to use the trail that much more. And that's really, really the goal, is to have our residents out on these trails enjoying all the things that the city has to offer. I had two questions. One is, this has been brought up at council about vehicles on the trail. It's alarming and incredibly unsafe to have vehicles driving along trails that we're encouraging people to walk and cycle on. What are we doing to discourage vehicle use on the trails?
So I'll take that one, Councilmember Esparza. So currently right now, we are working with Beautify SGA to really try and identify what the primary areas that they're getting onto the trail are. And as you know, there's so many ways that they can get in on the trails that we're going to have to really look at every single one of them and each one creates its own individual set of issues and or solutions that need to be addressed, whether it's boulders, whether it's bollards, whether it's gates. And so we're currently trying to identify every single one of those entrance points and then come up with an inclusive plan that addresses all of them and not just piecemealing them out.
Avi and Neil, so we have a budget request for this. The city is mapping these out on all the creeks and trails, or are we just focusing on one?
We're actually looking at kind of the two key corridors. So the Guadalupe mostly and Coyote Creek mostly. And we are trying to look at the plan, like the captain said, to identify kind of the areas that are most impacted, where the cars are entering the most. And we have a budget proposal in there now, and we do hope that, through next year that we can support some of these mitigation efforts and test them and see how effective they are, because it is going to be, quite of a challenge to secure, every access point that a vehicle could get into, but we hope to, protect some key spaces. And I think this effort, both in partnership with PD, our staff, Conservation Corps, and everyday citizens who are using it, will help as more and more, traditional users are on the trail. They'll have less, I think, less vehicles, illegal vehicles coming on there when there's more people just walking and using the trails.
Yeah, but it is a concern to have vehicles. We're bringing out more people, we're activating it, we're saying it's safe to use, and then we've got cars on the trail. I've seen cars driving in some very unsafe conditions, and also I just wanted to point out, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It costs us a lot of money to pull out burned out cars from the creeks. So, okay.
Correct. We just, we just had a pretty major cleanup at Watson Park, pulled out a number of cars, and the amount of environmental degradation quickly that happened as cars continued to go through there, it really degrades our parks, our trails pretty fast. So like exactly what you're saying, the best way we can prevent it from impacting, those spaces, the better.
Thank you. And my last question is, so I've seen Conservation Corps doing some of the vegetation work. And I wanted to ask a question about vegetation management and fire season. Are they working in conjunction with city staff on mitigating, fire hazards along our trails and creeks, or particularly the Coyote Creek Trail, which is the item before us?
Councilmember, that it's correct. We're working really hand in hand on this. And Dan, do you want to provide some details on what's going on in Coyote Creek?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that is also on our weed abatement contract to do some contract mowing to bring down dry weeds down as well. So it's definitely a partnership, and a lot of resources will be dedicated to make sure that within reason we can reduce some fire load for sure.
Okay. All right. With that, I move approval. Is there a second?
Can we get a second?
Second.
I'll be, okay, wonderful.
Second.
Oh, we got a couple
Too
of
late.
seconds. All right. All right. Would you roll call for vote?
Jimenez,
Yes.
Cohen,
Aye.
Esparza,
Yes.
Brasco,
Aye.
Arenas.
Aye.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So now we are going to move on to item D2, and this is tree planting cost report for those folks who are following along at home.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rick Scott, Deputy Director for the Department of Transportation and in charge of infrastructure maintenance for the department. The recent adoption of the Community Forest Management Plan, as well as the adoption of the strategic direction provided by the council on that date, shows the city's commitment to maintain and grow our urban forests. The mayor's fiscal year 21-22 budget allocated funding for tree planting and included direction for staff to clarify tree planting and establishment costs and what steps, if any, could be taken to reduce costs and plant trees with more savings. We appreciate the opportunity to provide you with that update today. To start with, there are two key components to the total cost of a tree installation: the procurement and the planting of the tree, which is kind of what most people associate with tree planting, and the maintenance and establishment services, which typically go on for 3 years after the installation of that tree. These services include watering, pruning, and monitoring, all of which are required to help ensure that a tree can survive and thrive after it's planted. We typically ensure that those costs are paid on the front end when trees are planted, because there is no sustained established maintenance funding for those trees once they're installed. With me today is the city arborist, Russ Hansen, who will discuss in more detail the price breakdown as well as the services provided along the elements I just described.
All right, thank you, Rick, and members of the committee for having us come and speak with you today. So let me start by saying that street tree planting in the city of San Jose has historically occurred at the time of development, with street trees being placed along the property frontages or within the city maintained landscapes areas along the roadways. After these initial plantings, new replacement tree planting falls to the adjacent owner and is done on a request or as a required basis. For street trees in front of private property, this equates to approximately 1,000 trees, 1,000 mostly replacement trees per year. And for City of San Jose landscape areas, this amounts to approximately 1 to 200 mostly replacement trees annually. Lastly, we would also note that there are additional tree plantings that occur that are frequently related to the various budget documents that we receive and are approved from time to time. Next slide, Rick. While trees are available for purchase in various sizes, from seedlings to very large trees, in most cases, the city of San Jose follows the industry best practice of using 15-gallon trees. These trees are typically 5 to 6 feet tall. They provide about 3 to 4 feet of canopy spread and usually have about a 1-inch diameter trunk on them. The reason we use these 15-gallon trees is because we found that the smaller trees frequently have less of an impact and are more prone to vandalism. Also, when it comes to the larger trees, they can be difficult to plant and require significantly more post-planting care to ensure their survival. So the table we've got on the screen for you today reflects the cost of planting that single 15-gallon tree that DOT has been paying to plant for the last 5 years. As you can see, the costs have remained fairly consistent with an average increase of about 4% annually. With, in particular, the planting costs have increased from $180 in 2018 to $210 in the current fiscal year. Excuse me, while it's not shown on this slide, we also want to note that PRNS, when trees are planted for PRNS within our park system, it's currently $150 per tree. So included in this cost for planting of the tree is the purchase of the tree itself, the tree stakes and tree ties that are needed to keep it upright, as well as soil amendments that are planted into the soil, mulch, and the labor needed to deliver the tree and plant the tree actually into the ground. Excuse me. Next one, Rick. Once the tree is planted into the ground, it takes approximately 2 to 3 years for that 15-gallon tree to establish a root system that is able to support the tree and provide enough water and nutrients for the tree to thrive. Excuse me. Therefore, supplemental care and establishment services are needed to ensure these trees not only survive but thrive in their environment. Establishment services, as Rick had mentioned, include monitoring of tree health, weekly watering during the months of April through November when rainfall is limited, maintaining that 4 to 6 inches of wood chip mulch that helps keep the soil moist for the tree itself, and then restaking and retying of the tree again to make sure that it stays upright. And lastly, pruning to remove any dead, dying, or crossing branches to ensure that the tree has good structure for the long term. While existing, it should be noted, while existing irrigation systems can sometimes be utilized, they are not always available and cannot always be modified to fit the needs of the trees. And lastly, installing temporary irrigation system is just typically not effective given the quantities that we are planting. Next one, Rick. So on this next table, it reflects the cost of establishment services that we are currently paying through our city forest, as well as over the last 5 years. As we kind of mentioned earlier, the cost of these services have historically varied depending on the tree planting location and the quantity of trees that have planted. This year, DOT and OCF have agreed to pilot a different approach and use a single flat rate cost for these services to see if they're more cost effective in the long term. And we also want to note again, when it comes to PRNS, they are looking at these very same numbers and using those to budget for any trees that would be planted within the park system. Next slide, Rick. It is important as well to note that to recognize our primary tree planting partner, our city forest. On top of assisting with our routine tree planting efforts, our city forest has been instrumental in obtaining additional tree planting grants, coordinating volunteer efforts, educating our youth, and operating a local nursery. This nursery in particular allows OCF to provide our most frequently used tree species to the public, and more importantly, bring in test species that we may be better adapted to our changing environment or climate that are otherwise not commercially available in our area.
Okay, so during the February council meeting in which the CFMP was adopted, staff was asked to come up with a budget estimate that could result in the planting and establishment of about 2,000 to 3,000 trees annually to be distributed with an equity lens. And we're working through the budget process right now with a number of options. No matter what that number is, however, as you heard kind of earlier with respect to the scope and scale of tree planting, we expect tree planting to dramatically increase in the city in the coming years. Fortunately, we do feel that we've had competitive pricing, both from OCF and on the occasions where we need to contract with our vendors, them as well. We have spoken with our state urban forester, who's the former forester for the city of Palo Alto, and others, and they all, looking at our prices, believe that's in line with the market rate. And so when there's a sharp expansion of the service, which we're probably about to experience, the pricing impact isn't always known. And we've experienced that, especially in our paving program for DOT, where as our scope and scale of work grew dramatically over the span of about 2 to 3 years, the pricing also surged pretty dramatically as the demand surged and the supply of work did not grow. However, pricing has fallen and stabilized. So there could be impacts down the line a couple of years we're not quite sure or aware of yet. So we don't know for sure what exactly will happen, but we're absolutely committed to effectively and efficiently planting as many trees as we can, maximizing the value for our residents and seeking methods of partnerships to reduce costs, both internally with our partners in PRNS and working with OCF and others to maximize grant opportunities and other forms of assistance to increase planting activities and just provide the most efficient and effective tree planting program we can to the residents of San Jose. So with that, that concludes our presentation and we're ready for your questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for the report. I'm going to go to our city clerk and see if there's any public comment.
Blair Beacon.
Hi, Blair Beekman here. Thanks a lot for this item. This has been a long effort from a lot of people. Good luck in the continuing efforts of this item. Planting trees is important. I'm interested how trees can be planted that are kind of like indigenous to the east side, along with what can be some interesting new shade trees, I suppose. Good luck in these efforts. It was made unclear, what exactly will be plans for the next few years, how we can proceed budget-wise and such. That's a usual of how government works, but is there a certain unclarity at this time? Because my feelings that I've been wondering if we are going to be facing some sort of natural disaster in the next few years or not. I'm not fully sure, but to learn how to make that kind of subject matter clear in your reporting instead of just kind of, well, we're not sure, could be helpful. I know that in all this work for these tree issues, the California Office of Emergency Services had a major part in planning recently what the next few years will be like. I think those questions of upcoming natural disaster can be very much asked of California emergency state representatives and should be. And that's what they're there for. And it's the time to ask those sort of questions. I hope they have been answered by those really working on this subject matter and know how to pass it along to the people like us who are asking and wondering what to expect in the next few years. This is good, important work. Good luck how we can make it clear and understandable for a cooler future. Thank you.
That was the last public speaker. Back to the chair.
Great, wonderful. Councilmember Cohen.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for the presentation and the detailed analysis that helps us understand better the costs that we've been hearing about as we talk about planting trees. I have a question about the maintenance for different types of sites. I think I understand, as I understand it, when trees are planted on park property, there's a different structure for paying for the maintenance versus if they're planted on DOT projects along roadside. Can you discuss that a little bit?
Maybe I'll start, and then Avi, if he's on, can take it from there. So I think the ideal is when a tree is planted, there are 3 years of establishment or an underlying irrigation system that's there to help ensure that the tree is maintained and can be healthy. I would say that that's a goal for DOT, and that is a goal for PRNS as well. I think, you might be referring to Councilmember one of the supplemental memos that came out, and just ensuring that corporate sponsors understand the downstream costs, potential the maintenance costs before the trees are installed. And I think with that, I'll hand it to Avi as far as kind of what in particular happens with PRNS trees when you don't get the 3 years pre-funded.
Thank you, Rick, and thank you, Councilmember. As Rick said, our ideal situation would have either coordination with Parks Department, our city forest, and perhaps the neighborhood association, or other volunteers who might be interested in signing volunteer agreements to take on that tree establishment period. And short of that, we really look for opportunities to utilize our existing infrastructure, irrigation infrastructure, or as the case may be, install infrastructure in order to serve those newly planted trees. Without that, it really places a great demand on existing park maintenance staff who already have, as we know, a lot on their plate in terms of managing the existing park assets. So again, as Rick said, the ideal is to have that infrastructure in place.
So if you have the ability to tap into an irrigation infrastructure, we wouldn't be paying the $450 per tree maintenance fee. It would be, the watering would be done through that infrastructure. But for other sites where it might not be easily tapping into a water source, we're paying our city forest to come and do that maintenance for that 3-year establishment period.
That's correct. Yeah.
And as we partner with private land property owners, businesses, or whoever to potentially plant on their sites, they could also then partner with our city forest for that maintenance portion as well, and then include that in the total cost of each of the trees that they plant.
That's right. They do have stewardship agreements, and I think where stewardship agreements are signed, they are pretty successful. The challenge, as we kind of brought up in the whole CFMP process, is getting residents on board with the maintenance of the trees adjacent to their property. That's a challenge right now.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And I want to thank you, Rick, and thank Russell and Dan and everybody else who's helped us identify some sites in District 4. As you remember, District 4 has the lowest tree canopy coverage in the city. So we've been working with you to identify locations on easement lands and parks to plant trees. We're going to try to do some pocket forests and other tree plantings around our district, and we're excited to partner with you and our city forest next week on Earth Day to do our first tree planting and to kick off what we're going to attempt to do 1,000 trees in District 4 over the next year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, however long it takes. But we're going to try to get those 1,000 trees planted. Public-private partnership is going to be important. We're kicking that off next week as well and getting our first private check coming in to help pay for the first 50 of those trees, and we think we'll be able to raise the money to do it. So anyway, I want to thank you and your team for partnering on that event next week, and for taking this seriously, because it's going to be very beneficial to the entire city to get more trees planted. And that's it for my comments. I'll move the approval of the report.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Oh, sorry. I thought I heard second.
No, I said, do we have a second? All right, can we call roll, please?
Jimenez,
Yes.
Cohen,
Aye.
Esparza,
Yes.
Carrasco,
Aye.
Arenas.
Aye.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So we are now going to move to item D3, and this is the volunteer management program from our Parks and Recreation Neighborhood Services Department. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair and committee members. I am still Avio Tom, Deputy Director of Parks, and I'm blessed to introduce another multidisciplinary effort and team, including Park Maintenance Division Manager Tori O'Reilly, PRNS Volunteer Program Manager Leticia Espino, Interim Community Services Supervisor Sochi Montes, and Recreation Superintendent Jeremy Schaffner. A few meetings ago, we highlighted the efforts of volunteers in parks. Today, we're bringing some more of that with some greater detail, and also intentionally bringing forward a view of our entire department, including community centers and community services like Beautify San Jose. We bring this whole department view in the spirit of a 2016 city audit on citywide volunteer efforts that highlighted a need to coordinate place-based volunteer opportunities and have coordinated and consistent practices and policies. With that said, I'll turn it over to Tori.
All right. Thank you, Avi, and thank you, committee members, for allowing us here today to share all about our wonderful volunteer programs in PRNS. So volunteers assist the city in various ways and come to PRNS through 4 major volunteer streams. The first is parks. Next up is Beautify San Jose, community centers, and lastly through the EOC. Each of these programs serve a different need in the community and improve residents' overall quality of life. Next slide, please. So how do these pieces all fit together? Each of the program areas listed in the current slide offer unique and rewarding opportunities for San Jose residents to give back to their community. Options are available to match the interests of many, regardless of if the volunteer is 8 or 80 or beyond. Participants can choose to volunteer once for a few hours or on a regular basis over the course of multiple years. We often find that once a volunteer starts, they are hooked and keep coming back. Today, we will be sharing highlights of each of the volunteer efforts and strategies we are implementing to increase coordination between these programs. Next slide, please. According to a study performed by the Corporation for National and Community Service, 1 out of every 4 Americans volunteer, with a value added to the economy of over $184 billion nationwide per year. The slide you see here represents the PRNS volunteer efforts during the 2020-21 year. These were challenging years for volunteer engagement as the pandemic safe practices reduced or sometimes eliminated opportunities for volunteers. As you will see in future slides, preparations are already being made to mitigate the losses these programs suffered during the pandemic. Even with these unfavorable conditions mentioned above, PRNS volunteers still contributed a total of 32,845 hours of service over the past year, with a value added to the city of $938,400. Next slide, please. So the org chart you see right now shows the Parks Division Volunteer Program Manager at the top. This chart, however, is not a hierarchy with direct reports, but rather provides PRNS with an infrastructure to facilitate coordination between all programs to support each other in providing opportunities to local residents. So now I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Leticia Espino, Volunteer Program Manager.
Hello, committee members. Nice to meet you all. My name is Leticia Espino. So before we talk numbers, we wanted to show you the face of our volunteers. As you can see, the pictures here, because of their dedicated effort, they add another layer of maintenance that helps protect and enhance over 211 parks and 61 miles of urban trails. Each volunteer event is unique, and as a team made up of city staff and volunteers, we plan and coordinate the logistics to accomplish the overall goal of completing all tasks on hand. Next slide, please. For 2021, we had over 3,369 volunteers engaged in volunteering out at our parks and trails. 21,320 hours of hard work and service provided to the city of San Jose at over 112 park locations. The graph data illustrates the total number of volunteer events in 2019, 20, and 21. As the pandemic impacted our volunteer numbers in 2020, but as you can view in 21, our engagement increased. Next slide, please. On the pie chart, you can view that we have different pieces of the pie that show how it breaks down within staff, neighborhood associations, Sunday Serious, charitable groups, and other partner collaborations that provide an additional support system to help maintain and keep our parks clean and safe. As you can see from the chart, almost 50% of volunteer events are initiated or led through partnerships with various groups or individuals. Employing this strategy of partnerships allow staff to increase the overall number of volunteer activities offered, as they require only a supporting role on the part of PRNS. Next slide, please. The bar graph shows all the events held citywide, narrowed down by year and by California Healthy Places Index rating, which I'll explain in a minute. This includes all events led by both PRNS staff and by partner organizations. We are pointing this out on this slide because the inclusion of activities spearheaded by partners changes the total number of events held throughout different council districts and does not necessarily represent the efforts we have made in increasing equity. Next slide, please. We just spoke equity. Equity and access play an important role in programming our volunteer efforts to embrace all communities within San Jose. Beginning in 2020, the Parks Volunteer Management Unit began utilizing the California Healthy Places Index to make decisions on where to target our efforts. The HPI is a powerful tool which combines 25 community characteristics to create an overall picture of health and well-being in each neighborhood. Utilizing this index in decision-making allows our unit to support ongoing, one-day, weekly, and monthly volunteer efforts to the communities which rely on public outdoor spaces the most due to a high rate of overcrowding in housing situations. Next slide, please. This slide looks a lot like slide 9, which highlighted, again, all volunteer events over a 3-year period, okay? It is different though, and that includes only events initiated and led by staff. As we saw from the pie chart earlier, 50% of total citywide events were coordinated by partnerships with neighborhood associations, friends of groups, and other specialized volunteers. The graph on this page removes the partner events to give us a clearer visual of events initiated, coordinated, and led by PRNS volunteer staff based on utilizing the HPI equity model. As you can see from the numbers, when removing partner activities, the amount of events targeting parks in areas with low HPI scores shows a dramatic increase in these areas in 2019 and 2020. At this point, I'll go ahead and pass it on to my colleague, I believe is Olympia or Sochi.
Sorry, little technical issue here. Hi, everyone. Xochitl Montes. I'm the Interim Community Services Supervisor, and I oversee the anti-graffiti, anti-litter program and beautiful neighborhood beautification program as well. Most people know them as our dumpster days. And just a few photos that you see here. These are our community efforts. We know that we can't do what we do without our volunteers. Our volunteers are critical for us to be able to continue to beautify San Jose's neighborhoods and communities. And so we're definitely grateful to all of our residents who take the time out of their day to go out and help pick up litter in San Jose. So next slide, please. So Beautify SJ is the city's blight reduction program and beautification strategy. Volunteers focus their effort on cleaning the city's public spaces to improve neighborhood livability and quality of life. During the height of the pandemic, during the height of our program in fiscal year 2018 and 19, the program volunteers provided over 53,000 volunteer hours and about 300 events, with a focus on picking up litter in neighborhood streets and along waterways. While Beautify SJ program is undergoing an expansion and consolidation, volunteer efforts remain an integral part of our service delivery. Like most programs, Beautify SJ was impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. During fiscal years, the bulk of our volunteer hours and events usually take place during the last quarter of the year. And as you can see, unfortunately, in fiscal year 1920, the pandemic caused a major drop in the number of hours. In the fiscal year 2021, my team managed to work with a small group of volunteers following within COVID guidelines, and we began doing some contactless deliveries and other innovative ways to ensure that our volunteers can continue with their efforts in their neighborhoods, excuse me. Our volunteers worked in a small family or household cluster and worked in keeping San Jose litter-free, one street at a time. And as you can see, there was a slight dip in the litter events also in 1920, but we did increase our events for last fiscal year due to the type of outreach and efforts we were doing. And more than anything, I want to take an opportunity to thank one of my all of my staff that has been going out above and beyond during this time, not only with our program but with our volunteers. But more than anything, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Annie Gamblin. She's been integral to making and maintaining relationships with our volunteers, and without our volunteers, we really we wouldn't exist. And so Annie has taken the concept of working with our volunteers and expanded it to ensure that we don't lose those volunteers. And so I want to make sure I acknowledge Annie and her efforts. It's Annie Gamblin. Thank you. And I will pass it on to, I believe, Jeremy.
Thank you, Sjpd. Good afternoon, Chair, committee members, City Manager's Office, Jeremy Schaffner, Recreation Superintendent. As stated by Sherry Anderson, volunteers don't get paid, not because they're worthless, but because they're priceless. Next slide, please. Volunteers have been utilized for a variety of services and programs throughout our community centers prior to the pandemic. In the past, we've benefited greatly from volunteer services and programs such as active adult activities, senior nutrition programs, San Jose Recreation Preschool, and special events such as free movie nights and celebrations for our local communities. We have had parents and families volunteer for our San Jose Recreation Preschool programs for reading time, helping with arts and crafts, supporting events such as our graduations, and bringing the skills and knowledge they have to our participants. We've had the opportunity to offer youth sports programs in our team programs as well, where youth get to compete in a variety of sports with other community centers. Our team participants have come out and volunteered at family movie nights to help set up for our events and serve snacks to our special events. Additionally, our older adults have engaged our youth and children to mentor and provide them with valuable life experiences through their volunteer efforts, supporting agenda gen engagement, while also volunteering to lead exercises, skill development, and many other activities for their peers. Next slide, please. Our active adults are some of our most active volunteer participants, where they regularly volunteer to teach classes that include a variety of arts and crafts, book clubs, sewing, to list just a few of our more popular activities. Our active adult volunteers also help with our monthly brown bag food distribution and other holiday special events. Next slide, please. During the pandemic, our department postponed our volunteers at our community centers to ensure that we were keeping our communities safe. As the Recreation Department continues to bring back services and programs at our community centers, we are looking forward to bring back volunteer opportunities within our community center programs that represent our rich and diverse communities and services. We are actively seeking volunteers to support our senior service programs, activities, and our senior nutrition programs as they continue to resume in-person services. Next slide, please. The City of San Jose and Santa Clara County partner to provide aid to those in need during emergencies of various urgency. In San Jose, responses are supported through the Emergency Operations Center, also known as the EOC, consisting of multiple staff throughout all of our city's departments. Though not directly connected into the daily volunteer operations for PRNS, these responses and requests for support can at times be heavily reliant on volunteers sourced from PRNS. During the recent pandemic, PRNS volunteers were instrumental in supporting food distribution and vaccination support in various roles, including direct interaction and support, canvassing, preparation of meal bags, vaccination and testing pop-up operations, and various other roles. Volunteers also assisted during the 2017 flood response, supporting with canvassing, translation, debris pickup, and multiple other roles within the shelter. Thank you again, and I'll now turn it back to Tori O'Reilly.
Thank you, Jeremy. So as you've seen throughout the presentation, volunteers allow PRNS to complete many tasks we would otherwise not have the resources to do. And PRNS makes great use of volunteers. and we are always looking to improve. To do this, we are moving forward with the items on the screen led by the Parks Volunteer Program Manager, along with monthly coordinated meetings, standardized data collection, rollout of department-wide volunteer handbook, joint marketing efforts to increase all opportunities. Once these processes are implemented, we will continue to look at additional ways to move the programs forward together. Thank you for your time today. We ask for approval of this verbal report and welcome any questions you have.
Thank you. We're going to go to public comment first before we go to my colleagues.
We have a call-in user 1.
First, want to thank the volunteers at the Rose Garden that make the place look great. I couldn't imagine if the city of San Jose had to do it. It would be all dead probably, but really got to thank the volunteer people. You see them out there working real hard. If any of them are listening, I thank you. But one of the problems with the Rose Garden is the fountain. It's 100 years old, and they repaired as much as they can, but I don't understand why they don't have backup parts for it. It didn't work for many months, and finally it was fixed. And there seems to be a reoccurring graffiti problem, at least in the men's bathroom. It seems to happen all the time. It's a lot of squiggles on the outside of the building. The bathrooms need to be redone. That's for sure. Those things, as they look nice from the outside, inside they're, they need a new roof. They need a lot of new ceilings. Need a lot of new things. The picnic benches at the Rose Garden are graffitied, and they try to clean it as much as they can. I have to say that, but there has to be really due diligence, because I don't tolerate, as a citizen, graffiti at my parks, overfilled garbage cans, which have been pretty good lately. For a while there, it seems like they were always heaping full of trash. Not as much anymore. Looks to be some good grass replanting. And the good news is I haven't seen the park police there harassing people sitting on picnic benches. They all know who they are. If they're listening, you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. But I want to thank the people who do fix things and do repair things and clean up their graffiti from these jerks that keep doing it. It's a travesty. It really is, because this is a special place. It's one of the nicest parks we have in the whole area. It shouldn't be like this. And once again, I just want to thank the people who do the cleanup and tend.
Hi, Blair Beekman here. Thanks a lot for this item. Yeah, the volunteer effort could really help the future of the Rose Garden a lot, it sounds like. And this was a nice item. Thank you. It was a good reminder, like from the first item with the trail issues. It's not just one department. It's many departments. It's many people, the community, working together for the future of trails, and the volunteer effort will have a very hearty part in the future of this trail work and efforts. And just an overall thank you for this item. And a reminder, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be a bit heavy-handed on the last item. I really tried. I don't want to be alarmist about what to expect in the next few years. I only try to offer it as what is potential options in what are realistic expectations, basically, in the next few years, and how to address it, how to find ways to talk about it openly. Thanks for your patience all these years in me learning how to make it just an option of several of what to expect in the next few years, and ways to make that clear. Thank you.
That was last public speaker. Back to the chair.
Wonderful, thank you. I don't see any hands up. So I'm just going to ask one question. First of all, I just want to thank all of you for bringing an additional layer of support to our city, especially when we need it just tremendously, and for supporting our communities to look and feel better. One of the concerns I have is how do council offices that typically, we all connect with our neighborhood associations, and we are pretty connected to our community. How do we work together to promote some of this PRNS-led volunteer opportunities to folks that are living in the surrounding neighborhoods. As you know, those people who live next door to that park that they see on their way home every day and they see blight, they're more invested in, or potentially they could be more invested than others to participate in the litter pickup. So how do we build our partnership?
Sure. So, Avi go. Thank you for the question, Councilmember Celia Arenas. Nice to see you again. It's been a long time. But
Leticia, I miss you over at the Evergreen Community Center. It was really nice to see you online.
Miss you too. It's been a while. But excited to work with your team and with Patricia over at the Evergreen Leadership Neighborhood Association as well. And one way that we really try to promote our services is through our main website. But another thing that we've been really doing is pushing out the media release. So that's going out to all city employees. Also, we are going and tapping into social media. We have a really great communications team led by Daniel Lazo. And so he's been fabulous in really creating social media connections out as far as next door, as far as posts on Facebook. We also are translating some of our items into multiple languages. So that way we're also tapping into communities that may not, read English or understand only English. And also a big thing that we're also doing is getting involved and engaging more with the community. And that goes into neighborhood associations, into the local high schools surrounding the area, as well as really just creating a following of these great volunteers who are always eager to spread the word for us as well. So those are just a couple of ways that we're outreaching, but also looking at diving a little deeper as the COVID has kind of put a damp on things for a bit with restrictions and engagement, but really looking forward to kind of opening that next kind of phase here as well this year.
Yeah, like you said, I understand that we might have been keeping our distance from each other and have kept our communication online. I really like that you're saying that you're shifting. I think that we need to make sure that we're connecting with each other and our offices are connecting so that we're not duplicating services, because we're all really in this together. And so I would love to see if we could maybe on a quarterly basis, and every council office is different, but I would love to have a standardized way of interacting with our council offices so that we can take a look at the events that are coming up on your end, and then maybe the events that are coming up on our end, and how do we leverage each other's resources, because we all do this together. We have a huge amount of volunteers in Evergreen, especially around our events. And we'd love to help feed that into your programming. And so I'd love to just reach out and let's establish a formal meeting so that we can really get down into the nitty-gritty of how to do that. But I would encourage all of you to think about how to reach out formally and in a standard way to the council offices so that you can maximize your resources. We are a resource for you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Definitely look forward and connecting with you and your team.
Wonderful. I still don't see any hands, so if I could please get a motion.
Move approval.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Awesome. Second. Okay, roll call. We are just breezing through.
Jimenez,
Yes.
Cohen,
Aye.
Esparza,
Yes.
Carrasco,
Aye.
Arenas.
Yes.
Thank you.
Perfect. Now we are moving on to item D4, and this is our summer 2022 recreation programming. And once again, our Parks and Rec department is going to present.
Good afternoon, Chair and Council members. It's my honor to present Marie De Leon, who is our Deputy Director for Recreation Services. I think you've met Maria a few times. She is now becoming a veteran in our Park and Rec department, but it's always great to introduce her and remind us all that she was with our department as part of the Project Crackdown efforts. And we were able to take her from some of our local communities back into San Jose in that effort of the passion and the drive and the level of commitment she has in our community. Always honored to bring her brought back into San Jose. Maria will be kicking off the main presentation, and we do have Hal Spangenberg, our division manager, and Janae Whitcomb, our recreation superintendent as well, to help answer any questions. So with that, turn it over to Maria.
Thank you, Neil, for the introduction. I appreciate that. Can everybody hear me? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. One moment, please. Okay, perfect. As you know, my name is Maria de Leon, and I'm very excited and very proud that I get to show off the hard work, the energy and effort that staff has put forth in planning for the community this upcoming summer. With so much uncertainty still with the pandemic, public health mandates, and skepticism from families on returning to in-person programming, staff had their hands full when planning for summer activities. Today, I will show the variety of summer recreation offerings that the community can choose from to participate in. I'll begin the presentation with this map illustrating the 19 PRNS summer camp locations, which cover our popular Camp San Jose, Camp San Jose Junior, and our FIT camps. As you can see, we have camps located throughout the city. Also included in this map are 6 pool locations, 4 of which are operated by our PRNS staff and 2 that are operated by the ANT school. This summer, PRNS is offering a variety of programs, including city-run camps and classes, vendor-led leisure activities such as dance, sports, music, theater, and specialty camps, our aquatic programs, team field trips, and special events. Registration for our summer season already began on Saturday, February 26th. Our aquatics program includes swim lessons and free recreation swim, and our team field trips include various destinations and special events. So in preparation for this upcoming summer, the PRNS team increased marketing efforts, amplifying our outreach in equity priority communities. We developed multilingual marketing and outreach campaigns for summer programs created in materials in English, Spanish, Vietnamese, and Chinese. This year, the Recreation Division staff collaborated with Project Hope and conducted intentional community outreach efforts during Project Hope litter pickups, the Second Harvest meal distributions, and the district dumpster days. So staff set up mobile registration and application assistance for families to enroll in programming on the spot and to get the word out about our summer programs, our scholarship availability, and youth employment opportunities to families most in need. Additionally, to ensure youth living in Project Hope sites completed the employment application process, PRNS staff held a clinic at Mayfair Community Center to provide technical assistance to help those struggling with the application process. So during the Project Hope events, PRNS staff became more intentional and increased promotional efforts to include mobile scholarship registration and summer part-time employment opportunities, including recreation leader and aquatics positions, in hopes of hiring a more diverse summer workforce. Since I really couldn't make any changes to these slides after they were submitted, the updated numbers from the targeted community outreach resulted in $75,800 in scholarship support, specifically for these families as of yesterday. Also, approximately 41 youth from our Project Hope neighborhoods are enrolled and received 100% scholarships in half-day and all-day summer camps that last up to 8 weeks. To support equitable access to programs, staff led another intentional effort only for scholarship-eligible families. We opened an exclusive registration window from February 26th through March 9th to enroll high-need children and youth in our popular Camp San Jose, Camp San Jose Junior, and FIT camp programs. During this window, we were able to distribute $616,946 in scholarships for eligible families, enrolling 351 youth in these summer's programs. That as of this week, the updated amount distributed was $1,188,545 in scholarships, serving a total of 740 youth. So across our camps, we have the capacity to serve 1,300 youth each week between the ages of 3 and 12. This summer, eligible families can participate in these camps with 100% scholarship support. Also, this will be the 12th year that PRNS camps are participating in federally funded summer food service program. And to be well prepared, staff camp will attend our annual recreation leader training, receiving training in a variety of topics to effectively and safely facilitate our summer programs. The San Jose swim season starts on June 13th. PRNS staff intends to operate 4 pools citywide, which are Camden, Fair Swim Center, Mayfair, and Ryland, with 2 pools operated by Ant Swim School at Alviso and Beebrook. This summer, we anticipate providing swim lessons and free recreation swimming for the community out of these pool sites. We also offer leisure camps and classes out of 10 community centers, city parks, and other locations. So this summer, we anticipate having over 300 vendor-led offerings ranging from dance, skateboarding, technology, and arts and crafts, sports education and enrichment, STEAM and STEM classes. Our participants can view our leisure classes online beginning on Monday, April 25th, and with registration starting on Saturday, May 7th. Our fitness centers were open on April 4th after being closed for over 2 years. So these centers are all equipped with strength training equipment, weight machines, and cardio machines with annual, monthly, daily passes available for anyone 14-year-old or older. In addition to fitness centers, also offered at these sites are drop-in sports such as basketball, pickleball, and ping pong. PRNS provides services to residents with varying levels of need and support out of 5 community centers. This includes providing adapted sports, social programs, mental and behavioral health programs that encourage socialization and prevent isolation. And finally, our senior active adults over 50 programs and classes are offered at all 10 PRNS community centers, as well as 3 additional neighborhood center partner program sites. One of the biggest challenges for seniors, especially after retirement, is staying active and reducing isolation. PRNS strives to address this concern by offering programs and classes which range from arts and crafts, exercise classes, walking groups, karaoke, Tai Chi, knitting classes, card groups, and other specialized workshops. In addition, another service that is provided is the Senior Nutrition Program, or SMP. SMP is offered out of 15 sites with an average of serving 1,600 meals to older adults daily. So in 2021, over 300,000 plus meals were served. SMP began facilitating a hybrid program on April 4th, which offers an option of either picking up or in-person dining for their lunches. The hybrid SMP successfully launched as we continue to see a steady growth and comfortability from our returning seniors. This concludes my presentation, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Maria. I'm going to go to our clerk for public comment.
There are no hands raised at this time.
Okay, so let's go back to our colleagues. I don't see any hands. And so I'm going to start off with just some questions of my own.
I'm sorry. There was a hand that raised for public comment. If
Sure,
you want to take that.
go ahead.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, Blair Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman. Thanks for noticing my hand. I just wanted to quickly offer, this sounds like an interesting item for our summer, and I just couldn't let it go by without offering some sort of a public comment, just to thank you for this item. Thanks.
Back to the chair.
Sorry, having trouble with my mute button. Councilmember Carrasco.
Hi, thanks, Chair. And I'm having major problems with my computer. So you're going to have to guide me and let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, Councilmember. Yes, and we will make sure we guide you. Absolutely.
Okay,
It's a
great.
tricky day.
So I'm working on a really limited really limited service. I don't know what's going on right now with my stuff. So Mars must be in retrograde, or Venus, or Jupiter, one of them. Anyway,
Maybe
so,
all of them.
Maybe all of them in my case right now.
No,
so
my case too.
Thank you so much for the report. I really appreciate it. As you know, I've been working on some of the programs for our kiddos and our seniors, especially on the east side of San Jose, because of course, and Maria, you pointed it out, isolation is a big issue for our folks, especially after the pandemic. But during the pandemic, it was brutal. And the pandemic was just especially cruel for the east side of San Jose. And as we're discovering, we're just finding more and more issues that are coming up as a result of the pandemic, but no surprise. So, you know, since our last few conversations, I just wanted to touch base with you and have a little wrap up about the services being offered specifically to those very vulnerable seniors and those families who are in low income and vulnerable communities, whether it's youth or seniors. I'm trying to dig up the calendar and the schedule of classes that are being offered, say in the Mayfair area specifically, but I can't find them. I'm trying to get my team to send it to me.
Councilmember Carrasco, was that a request for?
I'm
staff
hoping
to
Maria
provide you that?
would respond.
So we do have a variety of programs and services for our seniors and our youth out of Mayfair, especially since we last spoke, Councilmember Carrasco, which I appreciate your interest and your input. As we know, we have, I've mentioned we have Loteria. We've added fitness classes, walking club, chair volleyball, senior hideout karaoke, and virtual cafecito. In addition to that, we have some great CBOs that we're partnering with we have grants with that are providing free services like legal assistance, mobile tooth and dental health clinics.
Yeah. Let me offer. I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you because I know that we're on a time schedule and we still have some other items. So I saw the schedule, if it's the same one that you sent me. So let me ask you a very specific question. Aside from the services like dental, mobile clinic, the clinic where you get your blood pressure and that kind of thing, which we have grants out there for, I want to know about, and you pointed it out specifically. You said we've got to keep our older adults active, and you and I have had this conversation. I think that we're on the same wavelength. I don't see still on the east side activities that keep them active. I'm providing Zumba classes and I'm going directly into the senior facilities in order to provide that. Can you elaborate as to why we're still not providing that aside from chair volleyball?
I believe we also have fitness classes and a walking club in addition to the chair volleyball. And
what's the fitness club? Fitness class.
Janae, would you like to elaborate?
The fitness class is called Get Active at Mayfair. And that one is going to involve brief exercise activities located in the community room for the residents of the community.
I'm sorry, what is that again?
That one is called the Get Active at Mayfair.
And what is that?
That is going to go ahead and be exercise activities offered.
But what is that? But I'm asking, what is that? Is that a Zumba? Is that
No, so it's going to
aerobics
be,
class? What is that?
No, so it's going to be basic exercises. So basic stretching, walking components, just very minimal basic exercise activities.
Bingo, very minimal. So I just heard you talk about pickleball. I heard you talk about a lot of other classes that you're not offering at Mayfair. May I ask you why? This is the same issue, and I'm looking at the catalog, and the catalog does not look any different than it did originally when I sent it out to Angel Rios a few weeks ago. It doesn't look any different. Virtual coffee, I've gotten the feedback from the residents. Do you have the stats as to how many folks log on to your virtual coffee?
I don't have it on hand, but I could get that to you. But I believe that some of the
who runs the virtual coffee?
We have our specialist, I believe, that works out of Mayfair. I do want to go back to the pickleball questions. Some of the activities that we have are, it depends on the facility and the amenities that they have. For example, some centers have gymnasiums and others don't. So, you know, we are limited to whatever the availability of our current facilities. And our goal is to program the best that we can out of them.
So you're saying because we don't have amenities, we don't have any additional opportunities to offer classes?
No, there is. And what we have currently now, it's a gradual process. I mean, we have more classes, more leisure classes for adults and children and youth beginning this summer. And then in the fall, we'll have even more. So we're excited about our progress. We appreciate you pointing it out, and we're moving towards programming the heck out of Mayfair and tapping not only our staff, but our vendors to do those services.
Okay, I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to keep harping on it because the classes aren't for me. The classes are for our residents who are asking for them. And as a result, I'm having to currently offer Zumba classes because currently there are no classes for them. So I'm offering them, and that's not my job. That's not my job. But if you look at my Facebook, we're going out there to different facilities and providing the instructor as well as staff support, and doing it with our seniors in order to get them going. And, you know, so again, you know, I'm looking at the catalog, and the catalog looks identical to what it did a few weeks ago. It hasn't changed. So if you're offering any more classes, I'm not exactly sure how folks are learning about them because the catalog is identical. And virtual coffee, again, if anyone is on line right now that's running that virtual coffee, I'd like to hear some feedback as to how many people are logging on, what the topics are, what are you doing during that virtual coffee? Because the feedback we're getting from our seniors is they don't even know how to use a computer.
Mm-hmm. Well, so with the Zumba classes, we know that it was really important. I remember you shared that it was offsite. So we have requested from your office to get the Zumba instructor because we would love to have that individual be one of our vendors. And as soon as we get that, we want to make sure that we include them in the services, you know, that we provide. So
absolutely, but please don't wait on my instructor. You should have instructors that are doing them somewhere else as well, right? You're doing them. So I see the catalog, and you're doing them somewhere else.
Well, those are our vendor-led instructors or class instructors, and we are increasing our vendor-led or leisure classes beginning this summer, and then we're going to have more in the fall. We've reached out to them, and you'll see in the summer activity guide, which hasn't came out yet, you're going to see more programs, more opportunities, and more offerings, and you'll see more in the fall.
Okay, so summer starts when?
I believe it's the second week in June, first or second week in June.
So we're so all of April, all of May, and half of June. So 2.5 months without any activities.
No, we do have activity. We have the fitness classes. We have the walking club. We have chair volleyball. We do have activities.
But Maria, I just explained, I'm looking at the catalog and the catalog is identical to what it was a few weeks ago. So if you have those classes and you've just added them, how are you doing the outreach so that these families know that they can now participate at least in the minimal classes that you've added, which by the way, I don't think it's just that you've added just 2 more classes. I'm going to keep pushing on this.
If I may, thank you, Councilmember. My name is Hal Spangenberg, Division Manager for PRNS Recreation Division. The catalog that you're looking at online is something that's produced prior to the season starting. So some of the classes that we added were after the publication of that catalog. So what we are going to begin to bring back is our senior newsletters that we do monthly at each community center, which will highlight any new classes or any programs that we're adding. We know we need to do a better job of getting that information out into the community and get it updated quicker. Some of those programs that we added, we were kind of waiting for instructors to come back and also our vendors and also some of our CBOs. So at the time of publication of that catalog, we didn't have the dates and the times hammered out. So we had to publish that catalog and then wait. So we will work on getting that monthly newsletter back up in publication and begin communicating on a more regular basis outside of the quarterly catalogs that PRNS produces.
I appreciate that. That sounds like future tense. I want it to be present tense. It needs to be present tense. And the reason why it needs to be present tense is for this reason, because that was the schedule and that catalog went out versus the catalogs that went out for all of the other centers. I just have to go ahead and put them side by side to show you the inequities. And as a woman of color, Maria, you should be on the lookout, and that should be your number one. That should be your number one flag. That should be your number one flag. And so before you come and tell me that all of these great classes are taking place, I want the number one item to be reported on is, this is what you're doing in communities of color, where the most vulnerable people were impacted the most by COVID-19. Where most people were isolated, infected, died, left without a job, left without recreational opportunities, left without their businesses, and left without caretakers. That should be your number one line that you report back on. What are you doing to at the very least, level the playing field?
Thank you, Councilmember.
Let me step in. Excuse me. Let me step in here. Councilmember, we hear you loud and clear. I think 2 things from this conversation here. Definitely, we need to update that online directory so that it reflects real time. So we will own that and we will make that modification ASAP. But I want to make sure something doesn't get lost here. And that is that since the last meeting, there has been tremendous effort and progress made in really reconstructing and correcting what really was a deficit in terms of the way we were programming around Mayfair Community Center. And there's been a lot of progress. There's been a lot of action happening behind the scenes. I want to assure you that what Maria and the team are reporting on is just kind of the high level, report outs. But I will tell you, because I've been in meetings with the various staff that are on this call, and there's a huge lift because we concur with your perspective and action is being taken. So I just want to make sure that you know that action has been taken. It'll continue to be taken. In addition to this, we'll be going shortly back to council with even some more recommendations that are coming out of the leadership of this NSC committee under Councilmember Arenas. and yourself and others around additional funding for summer and fall programming that'll even further enrich what Maria and the team is presenting. So I just want to make sure that doesn't get lost, but to your point around updating the directory, absolutely so noted. We will fix that right away.
I appreciate that. I think the other thing that I want everybody to keep in mind, the East Side is not like the West Side, and it's not like Almaden Valley. We had to fight to keep people connected. And Maria wasn't here. Some other folks weren't here during the heart of the pandemic. So let me recap a little bit of history. But you've got individuals on this committee that fought really hard to make sure that children were connected to their education, because some kiddos on the East Side were disconnected from their education for up to 5 months. Up to 5 months. And that's because they had no access. They neither had the hardware, the software, or the bandwidth. So if our children, who typically, at least you think, have access to the most modern electronics, didn't have access, and we had to work double time, and that was at the top of the priority list for this council, to make sure that at least a quarter of the children of the city of San Jose, if not half of the kids in the city of San Jose, were reconnected to their education through council action. I want you to think of, what does that mean for seniors? You're assuming that these seniors know their way around a computer, or that they have access to a computer, or that they have access to the hardware. I think that's really presumptuous. And it's, excuse me for saying, it's rather an elitist mentality. And that's not who we're dealing with when we're thinking of Mayfair. But we should know this already. Like, that should be like tattooed on our brain. So to say that we're having a virtual coffee, it's a little insulting. When we're talking about isolation, and then we're programming virtual coffees, that's speaking out of both ends of our mouth. So if we're truly committed to ending isolation for our seniors, let's truly put our actions where it's really going to make a difference. Virtual coffees, I don't believe that's where it's going to make a difference. So every time I see that, it just I don't know what to think of that, except other than I don't believe that we truly understand the audience that we're serving, or the families that we're serving, when we're expecting people to tune in, or we're doing outreach through a virtual screen. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You know, we had our teams out there knocking in the middle of a pandemic, trying to get people to just fill out their census. That was one. Putting people out there on the streets. I mean, we're using the promotora model, and we're going to put money into the promotora model so that they are well informed about their other resources, whether it's their rights so that they're not evicted, whether it's ongoing COVID assistance. And we're expecting seniors to tune in. Come on, folks. I mean, I think we can do better than that. With that, I'm good. Thank you, Chair.
I do want to say that, Councilmember Carrasco, I value your opinion. I agree with you. PRNS agrees with you. We are working hard to make progress, and the goal is to have robust recreational services out of Mayfair in alignment with the other community centers. So please know that that is a priority of not only mine, but the department.
Yeah, and thanks, Maria. And I do want to, chime in on that. And thank you, Councilmember Carrasco, on that. We are, definitely on the same line in terms of the need, and looking to find out what is that we as a department can do for the most vulnerable in the city. The department over the last 2 years has been the department that has, with the council support, provided the services to the most needy. We had pulled the majority of our services offline outside of our recreation programming to feed the seniors or to feed families across the county, right? To stand up the Beautify SJ program to help, ensure the unhoused have services when there was no ability, for them to receive efforts out there. So, we know what the pain is out there. Most of our staff in the department are reflective of San Jose. And that's one of our goals that we have, is to look, sound, and feel like the residents of San Jose. And we definitely appreciate the push from council members. We appreciate the support as well. And knowing that we are dedicated to this effort, sometimes it does take more time than we all wish could happen, but we have the right team here. And I think everyone from, Angel's office all the way down through to our rec leaders are dedicated to ensure that we are providing the best services, especially for the families who are in most need.
Yeah, and let me just add this, Chair, if I can just say one final thing.
Of course.
I want to say this. I'm very appreciative. Angel, I'm very appreciative of your leadership, Neil, and Hal, Maria, everyone that's on the line. And I'm sorry if I don't include everybody because I have to keep swiping right or left or whatever it is on my little phone. And so I only get to see a couple of you on the screen. You know how that is. But I'm very appreciative of all of the work that you do, whether it's with youth or our seniors on trails. And I really, really am. I don't want you to take my comments as off-putting or undermining your efforts. I really am. I do think that sometimes we need to, it's okay. It's okay to listen to constructive criticism because I don't mean it in any sort of way to disrespect the work that you're doing. Truly, I don't. My intention is to serve the residents just as it is yours, because I know that's your job, just as it is my job. And just as are bringing it to my attention, just as folks are letting me know where I need to improve, I need to be able to pass that message on to you and let you know where our departments fall short. So it is by no means letting you know that I don't appreciate the work that you do. This is hard work. And especially when we're dealing, when we're trying to serve underinvested communities and we're trying to right a wrong, this is historic. We're acknowledging that in previous administrations, decisions were made that really harmed our communities. They harmed our communities. And we can't go back and change that. All we can do is acknowledge it now and move forward. But we have a Bible of lessons learned, and we have a book of best practices. And so let's use those best practices instead of reinventing the wheel, such as seniors, especially those of color or poor seniors, low-income seniors, those where they've been redlined, those where there's been underinvestments. They don't know how to use a computer. That's what we were fighting for. So let's be aware of that and use, for lack of a better word, common sense. Or how about this? Let's teach them. Teach them how to use a computer. Let's give them a computer. Let's make sure they're connected. And then let's have a virtual coffee with them. But they don't know how to use computers. They've told us this. But I truly appreciate that you went back to the drawing board and you said, we've got to make some of these changes, both for the kiddos and for our seniors. I really appreciate that. And that you're bringing back all our providers because they're getting grants and we keep paying them. And they owe our seniors and our residents services for the grants that we're paying them. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Carrasco. I absolutely underline that sentiment about making sure that we get to the hands of the people that need it, the tools in order to stay connected. And I think this is a really great opportunity for us to think about how we can bring in the library that has those devices and that has that bandwidth with hotspots on site at maybe some of these centers so that we can teach that and provide that access, first of all, right? So I think, this is an opportunity for us to take a look at how to leverage our own resources internally. I think it's a wonderful opportunity to get that going. Although I think at this point there's a lot of isolation, as you mentioned, and I would encourage a lot of in-person classes rather than virtual. This conversation that I was listening to really allowed me to think about how do we ensure equity at the center of the decision making regarding what recreation classes are offered at which, at the community centers, at the different community centers that we have. And we already know that the community centers that we manage are in places that can actually, most of them with the exception of a few, in areas that can afford those classes. And so I really like to pose that question, and I know that it sounds like the team is working really hard to get it right and make it right for our community. There's no doubt that they're already in that effort. And so I'm just going to put that question out there. I want us to maybe have that as part of our next report out in terms of how are we ensuring this equity piece for the classes.
Thank you.
Neil?
Yeah, we thank you for that. And there is a BD that we're looking to respond to around kind of the continuation of the scholarships, right? As you know, we presented this to this committee, pre-COVID, right, about kind of the challenge, the impact of as a department that we've had, especially as a department that was focused on revenue, right, over the last 10 plus years. I think the push that council has provided to the city continues this conversation, right? Being able to get over $2 million of scholarships these last 2 years. Our goal is to continue that into next year, as well as help understand, right? Because our department budget, some of it is funded through revenue that we have to produce, right? And it's spread across the whole department. One of the things that we need to look at is the challenge or the impact of the change of general fund money if we cannot bring in that revenue. So for a community like Mayfair, where services should be 100% free, understanding what is the cost to provide those staff, as well as additional classes that the community shouldn't have to pay for. What is that cost to the general fund? And I think one of the BDs that we'll be responding to this budget cycle will get us a bit toward that. I do hope that maybe by this year, definitely by next year, that we have to have scoped it all out and to really be able to present out what it would take to get us back to that level of service.
That's wonderful. I think that's the budget, city manager's budget addendum that I submitted. And so I'm looking forward to that. I think that there's some level of urgency, as you've heard Councilmember Carrasco state with some of the folks that we are seeing and interacting now. And so anything that we can do to pivot in terms of, maybe what we need to do is provide grants to some of the nonprofits and they actually do some of the classes for us on our behalf if it's too much of a struggle for staffing. Or, do we, and I'm going to refer to some of the recreation programs, do we give a grant to some of the schools so they can hire the vendor and they kind of are in charge of it, although it's our recreation programming, right? So I think there's ways to pivot and also do what we need to do. But more importantly, we need to make sure that we prioritize our budget so that we support what we're asking you to do. And that is to change from revenue generating practices and strategies that keep us afloat, but to place-based recreation where we know there's the highest need. And so I know that there's a huge pivot to make there, but this is where we need you need a council also to demand that shift, right? So that you're allowed to actually make that shift. So we're here also to advocate on your behalf and hear you loud and clear. I'm looking forward to that particular budget document, because we've talked about this one too many years, Neil, in terms of just the way that programming is offered, and so now is the time to actually make that change. And I know I'm singing to the choir because I know that you're all on board with this. All right, so I'm going to ask for a motion.
Move approval.
Oh,
And
second.
Awesome. Great.
Can I just, this is Councilmember Jimenez, can I get clarity on what the motion is? Is it just to accept the report? Or were there any additional direction based on some of the conversation?
Council member, I was just about to say that because I was just about to ask if they would incorporate the question that I asked about ensuring that there is equity, or how are they ensuring that there is equity centered at the decision-making process.
Thank you.
In terms
Thank
of the
you.
recreation.
Yes. And
Okay.
I'll add, yes, thank you for clarifying that. Yes, that's part of the motion.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, can we do a roll call?
Jimenez, Cohen,
Aye.
Esparza,
Yes.
Carrasco,
Aye.
Arenas.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you for the
Councilmember Arenas,
presentation.
Can I say one thing before we move on?
Of course.
I just want to say
Of
that
course.
I'm still really excited about our summer programs. And I'm really proud of the PRNS staff and the hard work that they did to plan our offerings. And really, I look forward to filling the gaps that were discussed at this meeting. Thank you.
Yes, and Maria, thank you for saying that. Listen, I my level of excitement is way up here, even though my voice may not say it. But I am really excited about this because I want to make sure that we get back into the swing of things. We had an event over at Welch a couple of weeks ago, a week ago maybe, and you can just feel the excitement of people getting back into the swing of things, and that's how we're going to get through this recovery, and that's how we're going to feel much better about ourselves and our community, and being more integrated is to offer these kinds of programming. And these are issues that are systemic and that we've been facing for a really long time, and I think this is an opportunity for us to turn them around and take advantage, really take advantage of making sure that we create systemic changes. And so absolutely excited. I want to be invited to every Viva Parks and in every place, because that level of excitement at the park not too long ago over at Welch was just, it was wonderful. It was just absolutely wonderful. So I want to thank the Parks and Rec department for providing our support. Of course, my team that put in a lot of hard work and grease, elbow grease in there. But you know what else made that event successful? Is working with our stakeholders. And so our stakeholders are also part of this resources that we must tap into, and we must leverage them. All right, well, thank you so much. Now we're going to move on to the next item, and this is our Mayor's Gang Task Force Safe Summer initiative, and this is item D5.
Good afternoon. This is Andrea Flores-Shelton. I'm the Deputy Director of the Community Services Division, and we are presenting the annual report for the Mayor's Gang Prevention Task Force, the Youth Intervention Services, as well as BEST, bringing everyone's strengths together, and the Safe Summer Initiative grant. Before I turn it over to Mario, Petra, and Phil, I just want to say, as the former Deputy of Recreation, how much we have learned and are working very, very closely with Maria and Hal and really trying to build out a system that understands that recreation is clearly a very important youth violence prevention strategy. And whether we live on the east side or not, we are all very dedicated to this urgent issue. We also know the way we improve young people's lives, reduce violence, prevent violence, is also through policy and systems change. And these things take time. And I think the Mayor's Gang Prevention Task Force history is a phenomenal example of when we are focused, intentional, and dedicated in a collaborative effort, we make a difference. And that, again, is at a policy, systems, and service delivery level. So I'm very proud to hand it over to Mario, who will walk through not just our challenges that we went through in the second year of COVID, but also the accomplishments. And again, we're really grateful to also have New Hope for Youth joining us today, but we will start with Mario. Take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone, council members, members of the NSC committee. Thank you so much for the opportunity to present today. As you are hopefully aware, we truly believe that we're that village concept in action in our industry, otherwise known as a collective impact approach. So although we're very proud of the work of our two units, the Youth Intervention Services and our grants making unit, we know that we owe much of the credit to our county, faith, school, and community partners who are always at our side. Today, we will focus on the 7 youth intervention programs, as well as the funding arm of our Mayor's Gang Task Force, specifically our Safe Summer Initiative grants and our San Jose Best grants. With me today to continue the presentation is Petra Reguera.
Got to unmute myself. Thank you, Mario. Good afternoon, committee members and chair. My name is Petra Reguera. I am the program manager with our strategic partnership unit, and I have the privilege, along with our best administrative team, of working with our nonprofit partners who provide services through the Bringing Everyone's Strengths Together, which is BEST, and our Safe Summer Initiative grant programs. Youth Intervention Services and the BEST grant program partnered with evaluation consultant Social Policy Research, or SPR, on our evaluation work for the 2021 fiscal year. In terms of outcomes, BEST evaluates psychosocial outcomes, like are youth feeling confident with handling what comes their way? Can they express their opinions? Are they comfortable with solving conflicts? And feeling safe and connected is also part of those psychosocial outcomes. And we also evaluate participant satisfaction. And we do this by administering a participant survey at 2 points in time, at entry into the program and after 1 month of receiving services. So BEST is a little further along with our evaluation work, but youth intervention has made some significant progress over the last year. And for youth intervention, all 6 programs have completed the initial phase of their evaluation work, where they finalize logic models and can now look at specific outcomes and evaluation questions for their design, which will begin in 22-23. Both youth intervention and BEST capture the output data listed here in the slide. And so this picture here is a young lady that is in the Teen Success program, and she's with her son. And this is her graduation day, a picture from her graduation, high school graduation. A key part of this report, of course, is sharing our outcomes for the year and the impact the programs had on the lives of the participants served. Here are some key findings for the year, and you can read more in detail in the BEST annual report and in our memo that we submitted. In 2021, we partnered with 16 nonprofit agencies through the BEST grant program, and I want to take the time to recognize all of them and thank them for all the work that they provided during this challenging year. We wish we could have all of them here with us presenting all the great work that they've done, but we do have Philip Rodriguez for New Hope for Youth, and he's going to share some of his experiences in the last year. So I'll turn it over to Philip.
Hello, everybody. My name is Philip Rodriguez, and I'm the founder and CEO of New Hope for Youth. And I thank you, Council and Chair, for allowing me to be here and present. New Hope for Youth is been with BES for the last 7 years, and we're funded to provide case management services and student outreach services to both female and male young children, teenagers and young adults who are intentional or gang impacted. We're also funded to do transformation, prevention work, and case management with middle school kids and their families. They're displaying high-risk behaviors. During the 2021 cycle, we did see an increase in both our student outreach services, our case management services, and our school-based services. There was an uptick, that we've seen of activities in the parks, neighborhoods with gang activity, drug use, girl violence, family conflicts, depression, and a big need for basic family needs for the families and the youth. So we were able to shift some of our services and to increase our services to meet these needs by doing more home visits, one-on-one sessions, family sessions, working with our best partners, county agencies. We increased our community outreach into the parks and neighborhoods. We put a lot of time and effort into helping families with food, housing assistance, paying bills, tutoring, getting families access to hotspots, Wi-Fi, so the children could attend their classes online. While we were out there, we were able to meet, a lot of different adults, young adults, youth, young youth. And I'd like to share just two little stories about a young woman and a young man. And so we met this young woman out there. When we met her, she was homeless. She was being, exploited. She was just couch surfing. She really didn't have too much going for herself. She was really, hopeless. And so because of these, us being able to be out there, because of the other agencies that are funded by BEST, we were able to spend a lot of time with this young woman and actually get her to value her life, right? Get her enrolled into school, and she was able to graduate from high school. We're able to get her a job. We were able to get her away from being exploited. And now she's doing really well. We have another young man that had just got out, and when we met him, when you first seen him, he was full of tattoos on his face, everything, but under all those tattoos, a human being. He was somebody that was just hurting, and he was asking us for help. And so we were able to help him out. We were able to get him a job, connect him to tattoo removal. We were able to reconnect him to his children, in which he hasn't went back to jail since he started working with us. And all this that we're doing with these young people out there, it's not just a New Hope thing or one agency thing. This is a collaborative effort, and I'd like to, without the other agencies and CBOs that are out there in the trenches, going into the homes and into the juvenile halls, into encampments, into schools, and providing, and bringing hope to the hopelessness, right? Bringing value to those who are not valued by their community, and changing the poverty mindset of our young people and our families that live in these communities. So I thank all the BEST agencies, because without them, none of this can happen. I think that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you. That was amazing, amazing stories. Thank you for sharing that. Mario, I don't know how we follow that, but we have a few more slides to go, and we'll do our best. So I want to shift over to Safe Summer Initiative Grant. In the summer of 2021, we partnered with 30 agencies that provided services through June 1st through August 30th. And continue to align with the program goals and objectives. The agencies administered a survey at the end of summer program to determine the outcomes that you see here. So I wanted to share those, and you can see more of this in the memo. So we also wanted to share some of the outputs, and here's a summary of key output findings for BEST and youth intervention. In 2021, all programs served higher percentage of youth who were exhibiting the highest risk behaviors for gang involvement and compared to 1920. With schools closed, agencies experienced a reduction in youth support groups, but shifted their services to more intensive services like one-on-ones. They met youth where they were. They went out to their homes, like Philip mentioned. They met them at parks, and they went out to the communities, and that's where they focused their efforts. Agencies quickly understood that youth needed more emotional support. And this picture here is a picture of young men and women from Ujima Adult and Family Services at their Saturday workshop. So I'll now turn it over to Mario, who's going to talk a little bit about services and outputs of the program.
Again, this may sound familiar to many of the presentations the committee is hearing. It's because of predominantly that same COVID impact overlay that I'll be speaking about. As mentioned in our memo, all programs showed a reduction in participation during this past pandemic year. The major factors we attribute this downturn in were obviously COVID. Shelter in place, social distancing orders had a great impact, as well as school, gym closures, and restrictions at our hospital with our hospital-based programs all had a tremendous impact on program productivity. Lastly, as many of the departments are also facing, simultaneous to these challenges was a tremendous vacancy rate. Due to the job market and upward mobility of staff, we find ourselves with a high vacancy rate at this time. Nonetheless, I don't want to leave on a negative and would love to state the fact that all indications at this point for the year 21-22 show that all programs will meet and likely exceed targets for this coming year. The rebound has happened, schools are open, our hospitals are partnering with us again, things are back on track, and we're glad we're in a position to serve our youth. Next slide, please. An equally important issue to us, as well as many members on this committee, has been the issue of gender responsiveness and making sure that we had services for not only our young men, but our female populations. A major focus of ours has been that provision of gender-specific services. And although historically this has been a male-dominated issue, we have continued to strive to meet the needs of our female participants. We strongly feel that the work that both BEST and Youth Intervention female-specific services are doing are supporting and contributing to the current reality. For the members of the committee, the last 6 months, our county at Juvenile Hall has averaged 1 and 0 young females detained at our juvenile hall, which is an unprecedented number, much of which we attribute to this collective impact from the county partners to our BEST services, to our female intervention team within Youth Intervention Services. It's just amazing to see the great work that's been done with our female population, but there's still so much to be done. Next slide, please. In this particular slide, we again try to assess and measure what level of risk factor our participants fall under, with most of the variants coming in BEST and Safe Summer Initiative grants populations, as they serve all 4 risk levels, while Youth Intervention Services continues to provide program services to the 2 higher categories, mostly gang impacted, gang intentional. The numbers are there. I won't take too much time, but you'll see that again, it is important for us to know that we're serving our youth at the right risk level, that we are not mixing populations, and that the service provision meet the need. Next slide, please. In conclusion, and looking forward, I'm extremely excited to announce that by this May, at the end of May at our policy team meeting, the task force will be voting on its final name change so that we can get away from deficit type language and again, rename this initiative like so many others have moved forward with positive names, i.e. Project Crackdown being Project Hope, etc., things of that nature. Secondly, I'm also excited that our strategic work plan by this August will also be adopted for setting the focus for the Mayor's Gang Prevention Task Force, again, knowing the name will change, for the next 3 years moving forward. And lastly, as Petra had earlier alluded to, Youth Intervention Services has some catching up to do with BEST on its evaluation. We've made tremendous strides this year and believe that by February of 2023, we'll have some significant results in our evaluation process. Petra?
Yeah, so for BEST, we are working on adding 2 positions for our BEST team for oversight and accountability, and we're working on that. And we have partnered with some of our BEST funded agencies to provide feedback and input on some key projects that are moving the program forward. And then we are projecting to release the best RFQ in January of 2023. And I do want Philip to share what the picture is. This is from New Hope for Youth. All right,
yes, those are our guys right there. That's my guy Hugo in the front, and then our little peoples there that were excited to get out there on that river and experience an activity that they have never done, and they were able to take them out there and camp with them and get to really know them and hear their stories, and really really, man, they had such a great time, and it was a privilege to be out there with them. They're really good kids. No matter what anybody says, about our kids, I mean, our kids are good kids, man. From the east side, it doesn't matter from what side of town. All they need is love. All they need is some time, for people to, spend time with them, man, and really just hear what they're saying and acknowledge them. And we were able to do that on this trip here.
Thanks, Philip. And go ahead, Andrea.
I was just going to say, just to close out and turn it over to questions and answers, but wanted to inform the council that yesterday, the Mayor's Gang Prevention Task Force Tech team met in person for the first time in 2 years. And we were happy to see many council offices represented. You're always welcome. Great turnout, old faces, new faces, and really a spirited discussion about how we're going to work together and focus on, again, that intentional focused effort to reduce the harm of gang violence and violence in our families and children in San Jose. So we're looking forward to continuing this collective impact effort for many years to come, unless we work our way out of a job in that effort. But other than that, I'll close out. Thank you, team, and we'll turn it over to you, Councilmember Arenas.
Wonderful, thank you. Let's go to the public comment.
Clara Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman. Thanks a lot for this item. It's good to hear work from the Mayor's Gang Prevention Task Force at committee meetings. And I very much of a thank you to the first person who spoke on this item, the first staff person. I think she made some interesting public comments, how she wants to connect this work to the previous work, the previous item of what can be good summer programs. And boy, the full weight of what Councilperson Carrasco came through to me, and what she's really trying to go for in the east side. I guess kind of older people who are not very computer illiterate, or not very computer literate, and have those sort of programs available. And the work I do with openness and accountability with technology, for people to learn that those things can work together in our future. I think that's an important ideal as well to really be working towards. So I can hear what Councilperson Carrasco says, that we have to really be focusing on a new way of thinking, that it just has to be on our minds more often. And for me, that's openness and accountability with technology in its future. Good luck on how we can do these things together. For myself, I'm 50+ years old now. It's been kind of a hard journey for me to understand what can be a more accessible form of government and how government can be accessible. Your summer programs can be a way to really learn how to invite all parts of the community to the process. And for people who feel, on the outside, toughened and not wanting to be so much a part of things, learning them to invite them to the summer process. Good luck how you can do those sort of things and for this sort of item. Thanks as always for this sort of work. Thank you.
Cardenas.
Good afternoon. Thank you. My name is Manny Cardenas. I am representing Fresh Lifelines for Youth, also known as FLY, a nonprofit organization here that serves our community. And we are part of the BEST project too as well with the Mayor's Gang Task Force. I want to say thank you to all members and especially Philip for your story and for your compassion and drive for our young people. I wanted to say that I don't have any questions, but just more of a comment. I know that we throw the word equitable around a lot in these days as we're trying to define some of these measures and trying to define what that looks like in our entities. And I want to say that after yesterday's meeting, I was enlightened. I was, really rejuvenated in a way that I saw an equitable practice happen in the Mayor's Gang Task Force tech team meeting. And I think we were asking the right questions. We were engaging with members of our community and our CBOs and council members and police to really engage into this work that we're doing. That's really important for us to flourish as we may see, young people returning back from COVID and from shelter in place, which has been, a source of looking for mental health and looking for services, and which, the best team provides. And so I just wanted to really commend the team, commend the efforts that folks are doing in the city, as well as our partners in BEST to provide these services, to reach out for our young people. And I echo Philip's comment that our young people just want to be heard. And I think the Mayor's Gang Task Force is really making a very streamlined, equitable practice to make sure that our young people are being heard, being seen, and being provided with the services throughout our years here in San Jose. Thank you very much.
Call-in user 1.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of problems, and people are going to need an outlet. And this was not, the people didn't impose this on themselves. The city council did, the county did, the state did. You guys forced people in their houses for 2 years. Continue with the masking, continue with these forced inoculations, or, these not, promoting inoculations and all these things. This was a social experiment. How is it turning out for you now? If you guys had it all your way, you'd be fining people. You'd have Sjpd out giving tickets for masks. But, you guys knew better. Unfortunately, for George Floyd's murder, they didn't do that. I mean, all of a sudden the cops are the nice guys playing soccer with the kids in uniform. I always like seeing that one. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of problems in this city. People are moving out. People are getting out of California. You'll see. You're gonna have less and less, and people are gonna be less and less inclined to want to do anything with the government because you guys are failures, and you guys forced people to stay inside. You passed laws for all this, and now look at what you have. Look at the people. Look at the disrespect people have for the government for good reason. I'm one of them. And you're gonna see that this is a failed social experiment by the Democratic Party and Dr. Grouchy Fauci and Let's Go Brandon and all these other politicians that have completely ruined this country in the last 2 years. That includes all of you sitting there today. Hey, where's Sam? Is he changing the diaper in DC somewhere?
Chair, is this on topic, Chair?
Thank you, council member. Yeah, you're right.
That was the end of the public comment. Back to Chair.
Thank you. And Councilmember Esparza.
I had some comments and then some questions. So I read the report, and one thing I think it's important to acknowledge is violence went up during this period. Violence went up, actually was going up a little bit before COVID, and it definitely went up during COVID. And so, I wanted to thank folks because of this uptick in violence during this time. I wanted to thank Phil and so many, our city staff. I'm trying to pull up names. There are too many screens. Sorry, guys. I see Phil here. And some of the Catholic Charities folks and our own city staff. I'd like to call out Claudia and some others who we went out in person. We had some in-person meetings in the community because of the uptick in violence. And I think that needs to be acknowledged because things are still things are simmering and our kids are not all right. And I wanted to actually say that because Andrea is really great about starting conversations about how are the children, right? How are the children? See, I'm repeating your own words, but it's true. That has to be our North Star on everything we do. How are the children? And the children are not okay. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, and I hope that at some point, you know, when we come back in our presentations, that we speak a little bit of truth about some of the conditions and the situations that have been taking place in our neighborhoods and our communities over the past couple of years, and the impact that that has on our children and on our families who have been isolated for 2 years and who are stressed in a number, they're getting pulled in a number of different directions. And I wanted to remind folks that according to I need to look at my bag, the Healthier Kids Foundation. The Healthier Kids Foundation did a study with the Franklin McKinley School District. 69% of fifth graders needed an urgent mental health intervention. And I know that's kind of young, right, to the ages that we're talking to, but these are the same families, and these are kids that are, they're children, they're growing into teenagers, and these are the conditions that our families are facing. And so the other thing I wanted to acknowledge was Andrea's leadership and the team and Petra in stepping up and kind of doing a reset and moving forward so we could be more strategic, more focused, and at the same time more inclusive of some folks that were not getting a lot of outreach before. And so I had a couple of questions. One of them is, as we move forward on the strategic plan, is that work addressing, or will it address the issues around the units of service, the need to separate participants versus sessions, and that we develop in partnership with all the stakeholders a system that focuses on consistency and program delivery. Again, that comes first. We still meet all our metrics, we still do our reports, but we focus on that program delivery and that consistency with our kids. Andrea?
Yeah, so the strategic plan is going to inform us on sort of the what, like when we think about what are the best eligible services, we need to ask ourselves, you know, is it more personal transformation? Is it more or less parenting, right? And then we'll turn it over and work with Petra on sort of the methodology about how we measure that, right? So Petra, I don't know if you have an update on sort of the methodology piece.
Yeah, so we've been working with a consultant, resource and development associates, and so we've already kicked off the project, and we had a first feedback session with the partner engagement group through BEST, and we are going to continue to work with our partner engagement, and we have some focus group questions that we want to work with them on, just to better understand how they're measuring outcomes within their individual BEST programs, what are their logic models, and we're going to take inventory. And so our next group is scheduled for April 28th, and we're hoping to get a recommendation from the consultant in May, June for that project.
Cool. And thank you. That's really great to hear. Are we in the focus groups or in the meetings that have taken so far, are we opening it up to take ideas from the best providers, right? To create that space so that they can come up with new ideas that I'm sure they have on how we could help meet the kids at where they are?
Yeah, so the first group on April, I believe it was April 10th, we just kind of had this brainstorm discussion on how agencies are evaluating their programs, how are they measuring outcomes outside of BEST, what tools are they using? And so we're taking inventory, and then we're going to have a follow-up question on just what you mentioned.
And gaps,
Councilmember
does that
Esparza.
include gaps?
Yeah, and I'll say yesterday, Mario facilitated, and we had the 3 breakouts, but the line of questioning that we did at the tech team, which includes mandatorily, right, all the best providers, it was absolutely a question of, and what else? What else is missing? What are the emerging issues? What do we see? Whether it was, and Mario trying to, whether it was the fentanyl issue that Mario pointed out 3 years ago or 5 years ago when we did the last strategic plan, we didn't hear about fentanyl, right? We heard about mental health and continuously yesterday. So Petra is doing some intentional work with the best providers through focus groups, through our partnership with SVCN, and then through the strategic planning input process, we're also engaging with best providers. Mario, was there any other gaps?
No, that was perfect. The communication lines are open. We're still in the final phases of community input, but there've been about 33 separate venues of input, and all of them have been focused on that, council member, as far as acknowledging that this is a community issue and some of the best answers come from the community. So innovation and ideas were requested at nauseam.
Yeah, and there's really, to me, I'm sure there are a number of stakeholders, right? There's the schools and everybody, but I did want to create some space from the best providers so that they had some cool new ideas or things that they see every day, that needs that they see every day, but yet we're requiring something else that we create the space for that. And the other thing though is, did that include parent groups, neighborhood groups? Because I think often that gets left out.
Councilmember Esparza, thank you for that comment. But yes, every single Project Hope community was granted a listening session. Some of our parent groups that are some of our high schools were also offered an opportunity. All our youth groups, whether it was the Fly Youth Advisory, our Youth Commission, our Youth Intervention Youth Council, have all been afforded the opportunity. Of course, there's always room for more input, but it was a robust effort that took about 2.5 to 3 months to accomplish, and we're almost at the end of it.
Yeah, I hear that, and that's great, but we don't have that many Project Hope communities in compared to hotspots, right? And so, yeah, I mean, and we can talk offline to make sure that there's some other community groups that get in that, but just that we make sure to include those residents of neighborhoods in situations where they can speak openly, which is a concern, right? Some of the neighborhoods, there are challenges in speaking openly. And so I just want to make sure that that is included, and I'm happy to meet offline to talk about that a little bit more, but that we have those residents and parents. Okay.
All right.
And are we partnering more? Anyway, we'll talk offline. All right. That's it for me. And I look forward to, when does this come back to NSE?
The overall yearly report, council member, or the strategic work plan?
The strategic work plan.
Right now, the strategic work plan, I'm not sure, is slated to come back to NSC. I know it goes to policy team in August, and with hopes of being cross-referenced over to full council in about September. If it were the desire of NSC, we could definitely incorporate it back into this time frame next year. And if desired earlier, we could always come back, council member.
Yeah, so this work is done in August, so I'm trying to figure out a timeline. So the strategic plan is presented to the policy team for approval this August,
yes, ma'am. Right?
And at that point, after that, I think it's important to have it come back to NSE for more discussion. It should come back to NSE for more discussion before it goes to the full council. I'm open on the timing for that. And so I wanted to hear from Angel and the chair in terms of timing.
Yeah, I think what we could do is, based on that timing, is we could place it on the September NSC timeline. You know what we'll do is we'll go back and coordinate the timeline leading up to council, and then Chair Dennis and I can, as we develop the new work plan, we can kind of dial in a date, but definitely bring it back to NSC before it goes back to the full council.
Okay, thank you. So I'd like to move approval with the direction that this come to NSC before it come back to the full council.
Can we get a second?
I'll second.
Perfect. Before we take roll call for this vote, I also wanted just to provide some comments. I noticed that there were more female participants in the BEST programs. It was 62% versus 37% of male. And then in the youth intervention side of things, there were more males, 75% males versus 25%. So it's a larger gap. What are we doing to, how are grantees pivoting to make sure that their programs now, because they have a higher female participation, that we're meeting the needs of our young women?
Audio, do you want to talk about that? Because at first blush, I would say the reason why there's a higher percentage of males, and I don't know if my camera is doing weird things. Sorry.
Here's that, yeah.
Yeah, the higher percentage of males to females in youth intervention is related to what Mario was discussing, which is their risk factors, right? So, you know, the higher the risk factor, the more they're going to be funneled over to youth intervention services. So it's also about capacity. So Mario, do you want to discuss that a little bit more?
Only that the youth
Well, let
intervention-
me hold on a second before you respond. My question is actually, how are the programs pivoting to meet the needs of the young women? But now that you're on that point, the boys who were referred to youth intervention services were not at the highest risk. They were still the lower impacted, and I'm looking at the numbers here. Let me see. It was BEST and both SSIG grant programs have higher participation of gang impacted and gang intentional youth versus at risk. Is gang impacted and gang intentional youth, those are the highest?
Yes.
Okay,
Councilmember.
got it. I got it backwards then.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's go back to that question then. How are programs pivoting?
Again, within the youth intervention side of things, council member, thanks to the leadership of council and the funding of our female intervention team, that really gave us for the first time the bandwidth to be gender specific. Many a times the young ladies were being forced through male-centric curriculums and the same type of approaches. Our percentage has always been somewhere around 75 to 25% within youth intervention. The higher you go up in the risk level categories, the less you find our young ladies. There are high caliber gang impacted, gang intentional young females in our community, no doubt, but not at the predominance at that risk factor that you find with young boys. So again, historically, we've always been at that level, 75-25 at the highest rates. Our juvenile justice system saw 30% of cases being female, and that was at its spike. And as I alluded to right now, the female issues within the juvenile justice system have tabled off somewhat. But on the best side of things, I think it was an intentional design to be responsive to the fact that for years and historically, we hadn't met the needs of our young ladies. And when you're down at the at-risk, high-risk levels, the participation and the ability to reach our young females is still much more viable than at the last entrenched risk factors. So, Councilmember Arenas, excuse me.
Can I just add, so we did take a look at that, council member. I think that's a great point that you identified. So it is attributed for best to about 4 of the agencies that we saw an increase in 2021 of serving young women. And so we did look at the data from previous years, and we were able to understand that it was really 4 agencies. 2 of them are agencies that provide gender specific programming. The other 2 we're exploring with them, like what is going on here? What is why are we seeing an increase? And then I think to your point is now moving forward, how are we set to address their needs?
Okay, good. So they're in the moment trying to shift their strategies on how to serve those that are coming to them. Those 2 that are not gender specific
The 2 that
agencies.
are not sorry.
Right.
Yeah, we're trying to understand what happened in 2021 where we saw a jump, and then working with them to understand, what are they, how are they addressing the needs specifically for the young women?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It would be great to see how we can leverage some of the resources from the county on, their gender-based division. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get the name wrong, but this is with Carla Collins.
Yeah.
Because they have very specific funding for gender specific programming, and I think we need to make sure that we leverage those resources. We always need additional funding, and so I think we need to encourage our best agencies to also receive. Oh, Nancy's always great. It's the Office of Gender-Based Violence Prevention. Thank you, my beautiful chief of staff, Nancy. She always has my back. And so I think that we just need to make sure that we are also not duplicating what the county is doing, but enhancing and leveraging these resources for our girls and also for our nonprofits that we're working under BEST. Is there any conversations that we're planning to have to create that level of alignment?
Councilmember Arenas, before our Judge Lucero, our great Judge Lucero, got appointed to the state appointment on a similar issue, she had started the Juvenile Justice Gender Responsive Task Force, which meets monthly with Carla and many of our female intervention team, and many of our female-based BEST agencies are there also. And that is the leading venue right now. It's quite a powerful group that meets monthly to talk about existing efforts, resources, and how to leverage each other's. The support that I've seen happen there and the collaboration is something to be proud of. I mean, everyone is willing to come to the table when it comes to our young females. Not that they're not for our young men, it's just that I've never seen it to this level. And Judge Lucero was a big catalyst to that. But that is the committee that meets monthly. Councilmember Arenas focused specifically on our young females and bringing anyone that has resources to the table.
Great. I'm really glad to hear that. And as you are all looking at, because I know the youth master plan that we're all working on is also requiring us to revisit our logic models, our program logic models. And Petra, I heard you say that a little bit earlier. And so because of that, I think that we also need to take a look at how we're making sure that the strategies that we're using are the most effective and the best practices. And so, using a lot of that information that from either this monthly work group or the other information that maybe Carla Collins has, because as you all know, and we don't say this enough, and I want to make sure that it becomes like kitchen, table conversation, is that what we're trying to battle is a sexual assault pipeline, very similar to what is the school to prison pipeline for young men of color. This is the pipeline that our girls are in danger of, and especially our brown girls in this city. And I venture to say probably in this county. So we need to make sure that we're using strategies to intervene and interrupt that pipeline, and that those strategies are worked into logic models, so that they're really systemic changes that will be created and adopted by programs that we fund from here on. So I hope that we can really get, now that we're developing the youth master plan, that we can really get into that nitty gritty.
Can I just add that in this next evolution of the strategic plan, I think we're also going to be embarking on sort of gender responsive as it relates to the trans community.
Great.
We know that that community is actually has a very, very high level of victimization. And so what we want to make sure that we're doing is that when we say that we're gender responsive, that whether it's capturing data or, to your point, best practices and strategies, that we are being inclusive of those that are gender fluid. And so, that's a shift for us. And so we have to sort of start now thinking of it at a, systems level and then at a program level and figure out how we implement that moving on. But we are very cognizant of that and sort of in this next evolution.
Okay, I'd love to hear more about what those strategies end up looking like and those alignments of those logic models from our best programs. That this is, to me, very exciting, because this is really shifting, and this level of systemic change can really create some generational changes for us as we move through the years. And so thank you so much for that very strategic work that you're all doing behind the scenes that nobody really gets to talk about, because it's it's not the most exciting thing. But did we get oh, so go ahead, Petra.
I just wanted to add on logic models. I just wanted to that that through the community of learning program, we worked with agencies to evaluate their program through an evidence-informed assessment. And through that, they all develop logic models for their programs. And so we will be revisiting those when we work on the performance measurement project with RDA. So those are going to be coming back. And those agencies that are on the call now, you can expect a call from our consultant to take a look at those logic models.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Wow. Thank you for that work. I know that this is all like, the back room kind of work that gets done, but it's amazing how you're all carrying our and walking our best programs into a very strategic support system. So thank you for that work, Petra. It's wonderful. All right, so do we have a motion?
Yes.
And a second.
Oh, we made the motion already.
Oh, do we do? Oh gosh, thank you, council member. All right, so then oh, that's right, I interrupted my own self before calling a roll call for this motion. Would our city clerk please?
Jimenez?
Yes.
Cohen?
Aye.
Esparza?
Yes.
Carrasco? Arenas?
Yes.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So this is the last item on our agenda, and so we're going to move into open forum.
Blair Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman here. Thanks for the meeting today. I've been noticing that, through the months of March and up until this meeting, committee agendas have been really interesting lately and much more connected. And I feel you guys have been offering a much more interesting conversation between each other. And it's been more informative and just fact-based. And it's been enjoyable, I think, all through March and up to now. And I just wanted to comment to everyone that, the committee itemized the agendas are really interesting, and what we're talking about is really interesting. And Councilperson Carrasco made a very special point today, and I think we all really noted it and tried to add to it. And it's been a really interesting process the past 6 weeks, few months. Good luck in keeping up these good efforts. I know me, Paul Soto, and Tessa used to always ask for a more engaging, interesting, committee process and reporting, and you're doing that now. Thank you. With 50 seconds, I wanted to remind that I want to thank everyone for their work on the ideas of what we can do about the future of body camera issues and when a victim of crime needs body camera information and rules in open government, we've been working really diligently to try to make a good program out of that. And it's been a really interesting few months with that. That's gone to the Reimagine Task Force Commission, who has come back with some really interesting reporting on that issue that we've all been a part of. Thank you. Now, what can we do about the future of body cam situations and the editing involved? And there needs to be a bit more discussion about that. Good luck to all of us how we can do that. Thank you.
Calling user 1.
Well, happy Holy Week, everybody. No one ever mentions these kind of holidays. Today's Holy Thursday. Tomorrow's Good Friday. Holy Saturday. Easter. I know a lot of city officials don't want to use the word Easter, but I'm not going to leave out Passover starting tomorrow, and we're halfway through Ramadan, or the Abrahamic. These are Abrahamic faiths that seem to be celebrated in unison during this month. I haven't heard anything about a happy Easter from anybody though, but it's much to be expected. That's okay. But I want to know how the license plate readers are working, the gun control issues, the fires. I mean, hey, Home Depot burnt to the ground. San Jose Fire Department can't put out any fires. Another burned out building in a mile and a half from where I live. It's unbelievable the amount of fires. How the city can't put out a fire. What else? You're gonna have the speed cameras that you lobbied California, the state of California. Don't have enough officers overnight, but where are you finding this money for officers, for traffic enforcement and speed cameras? You mysteriously just find this money for things that can generate revenue. You should be ashamed of yourselves, really. And how do those license plate readers work? You guys solving a lot of crime with those license plate readers? By the way, speed cameras, I hope they're not anywhere near City Hall or the San Jose Police Department or any of your houses where you live. I hope every single one of you, your family, your friends, your constituents, I hope they all get speeding tickets with these new speed cameras. I urge anybody who gets one, call your offices and say, why are these speed cameras here? Why do I got to pay a fine and have my insurance rates go up?
That was the last public speaker. Back to the chair.
That concludes our NSC committee. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next month.